Well, a good Tuesday to you. Thanks for checking in with us here. I'm Fox 26 meteorologist John Dawson. And look at that. Some blue skies have started to sort of make their way back across the Houston area. I think we're all pretty excited to finally have a little less rain to talk about. Man, it's been a couple soggy days here across southeast Texas. And, well, it just didn't look like it wanted to clear up, but we were just right on time. We're reaching the noon hour when I was ready to call it as far as the rain and continue to see the skies clear. I think we're actually seeing a little bit more blue in the sky than I was thinking. So some of us are maybe a little bit ahead of schedule on things, but I don't think there's going to be any complaints. Our forecast is looking pretty reasonable as well as we continue to move through the next couple of days. As a matter of fact, Wednesday and Thursday look just absolutely fantastic for southeast Texas. So glad you're checking in here with us on their quick weather update as we are sort of getting close to the noon hour. Our current temperatures are very comfortable, about 65 degrees in the downtown Houston area with those mostly cloudy skies. Again, there's some blue in there, but overall it's still more clouds than sunshine. Northeast winds at around 8 miles an hour. So we'll have a 5 to 10 mile an hour north-ish wind throughout the day today. That's going to keep the dew points still relatively low and even kind of help a little bit with some cooler air. So with those clouds that have been so thick, and of course the rain that was with it as well, it's such an insulation. It doesn't allow you to warm up in the afternoon because there's no sunshine, but it doesn't allow you to cool down really in the overnight hours either. So this is what we did for the high temperatures yesterday. All of the rain, all of the overcast skies, and when I say all of the rain, it didn't add up to that much, but it was just seemed like all day long it was just that drizzle or very light rain. And then this morning, we just cooled down a few degrees, 5 degrees maybe at the most for some of us. So made it down up in Huntsville. Katy made it down to 57. So now let's talk about the current temperatures. We've had some clouds this morning, so we haven't warmed up too much, but certainly we're already exceeding what we did yesterday. A lot to do because of the fact that we are seeing some sunshine. So this will be the current temperatures that we have out there. 64 degrees down in Galveston, 63 in Pearland. Now back over to the west a little bit, even a little bit warmer, 67 in Bellevue, and we'll put down 68 for the folks up in the College Station area. They also had a little bit of a shower earlier this morning as well. Here's a look at those winds. Right along the coast will be a little bit stronger with our winds today. So we're over 10 miles an hour for both Angleton and Galveston. As we talked about it, north-ish. Right now it's a little bit north to the northeast, but I think it'll kind of continue to sort of work its way that way. So here's the big kind of headlines that we're looking at here is we're going to continue during the afternoon. I think probably it'll take a little longer than we want, but slowly clearing. These clear skies and the relatively humid air still at the surface is going to kind of give us an opportunity for some patchy fog to develop tomorrow morning. So keep that in mind. I don't think it's anything that's going to completely slow us down as far as our commutes go, but some of us might run into a little bit of that. And then, as I mentioned, Wednesday, Thursday, just fantastic looking days. And then as we roll into the weekend, we're kind of changing a little bit to that next change in our pattern. We'll see that in more detail here in just a second with the 7-day forecast. But overall, this is what the upper levels are kind of working on right now with that upper level low that was more or less over central and east Texas yesterday that helped contribute to the rainy overcast skies. That has now put all of the rain well over to our east, even really out of Louisiana and Mississippi, kind of more focused in on Georgia, Alabama, and Florida panhandle. That's kind of what we're looking at. Other parts of Florida is certainly going to get some more rain as well. And then as we talked about it, we're still going to be sort of clearing things out a little bit. So with all of the rain, it's made some improvements on our allergen levels overall because we kind of wash out that stuff that's floating around in the air. So even the weed, the ragweed, even now down to its lower levels, the The opposite, though, happens sometimes with the mold spores. When you add in that extra humidity, kind of helps to kind of get things growing just a little bit, I think. And the cooler weather isn't something that supports it. But again, with that extra moisture lingering around, the mold spores certainly have made an increase, still now at the heavy levels. So as we talked about, those mostly cloudy skies and this, percent of humidity, that relative humidity, that's going to increase even more when we get into the overnight hours. And eventually that might even become a fog issue, as we talked about. So those numbers that we were talking about, the average that we expect to see for this time of the year is that 73 in the afternoon. So we were 10, 11 degrees cooler than that yesterday with all of the clouds and the rain. 67, that's what we've done so far. We're going to probably kick it up at least a couple more degrees, get very close to that 70-degree mark. And then again, talking about that insulation, we would normally expect to be in the lower 50s. We were only in the upper 50s for those overnight lows. So in the future cast, we'll continue to clear the skies. By this point, we've got most of the rain at least out of the Fox 26 viewing area. And we'll look for those 50s, lower 50s in the overnight hours, so back to the seasonal numbers as we continue to keep the skies fairly clear. And then we dive into Sunday, and again, just looking to be a fantastic end to the week. We'll have mostly sunny skies, relative that north wind, just a little bit of a breeze, keeping things relatively dry, so the humidity feeling just a little bit lower than what we sometimes are experiencing. I know there's a handful of us out there, Liberty County particularly, that might have a little bit of a shower before we get too far into the afternoon, so that's why I left the 10% in there. The majority of us are done with the rain. We're going to be looking forward to continuing to watch those skies clear. Beautiful days on Wednesday and Thursday. Friday and Saturday, these aren't bad days, not at all, but they're just going to be a little bit warmer. I think you'll notice a little bit more humidity kind of creeping back in as well. Still pretty good for whatever your outdoor activities might be. The change begins to happen on Sunday as a front starts to approach. I think the boundary itself will be kind of crossing more Sunday night and into Monday, and that's when we'll begin to squeeze out a little bit more of showers, and I think we'll have some isolated storms, thunder and lightning kind of mixed in with the Monday as well. So when we're this far away from the front, it takes a little bit more time to sort of pinpoint some of those finer details, exactly when we're expecting it, how strong those storms might be. But just kind of note that that next sort of change in our pattern is going to be at the end of the weekend and moving into the beginning of next week. And this change might not be as pleasant as the change that we're experiencing today. Today is that other change happening right now from that soggy pattern to a beautiful fall pattern for a November day, at least here in the Houston area. All right, that's going to do it for our weather update. As I was mentioning, we'll of course have a full newscast here for you coming up in about 20 minutes, Fox 26 News at noon. However you're watching me right now, whether you're on your device or whether you've got your smart TV at the house on Fox Local, that's how you're going to find us, and we'll be broadcasting on Fox 26 as well. We'll see